So, Jez, Arsenal have won back-to-back games in the Premier League after 3 losses in a row. 1-0 away to Burnley today. Martin Odegaard, what a goal. And that was the only moment of real brilliance and class in the whole game, really. What did you make of it overall?
1-0 to the Arsenal. George Graham settings, brilliant. It was a great goal. It was a great goal. Fair play to the fella. Great goal. I mean, can't deny that. If he can do that every couple of games, then awesome, to be fair. Apart from that, not a lot else to say, really, to be fair. Yeah, we'll leave it.
It was poor. I can't lie. Like, I feel the one thing that I took from the game today was that the goalkeeper that we both didn't really particularly want. You said that you'd back him like regardless, and I was like, yo, he needs to prove himself. The one thing I took from the game today is that guy didn't punch a ball, whereas at Sheffield United and Bournemouth, punching everything. Today, he rose to that challenge of that physical battle in the box today. He was constantly barking orders at the defence. Yeah, he ripped into Ben White, when he passed the ball back, and obviously there was the penalty claim, which everyone was saying wasn't. I didn't see the close-up.
That was never a penalty. No way.
Yeah. See, I watched it on DAZN, and they never showed a zoomed-in version. So I'm watching it from really far away, and I'm like, nah, that's a pen. But everyone was going, yo, he got the ball. I haven't seen it, so maybe he did.
He got the ball, man, and then the Burnley player just tripped over his own feet. You can see he put his left or right foot behind the other and went for it. As soon as I saw that, I thought, no, that's never a pen. If that gets given as a pen, it's a bloody disgrace to Ramsdale. And I'll tell you what, fair play to the fella. Yeah, I'm getting big confidence in him. He catches the ball, he gets down well. He, as you quite correctly said, he was giving the defence shit when they were not doing the best. We'll come on to Ben White, I'm sure. But, yeah, fair play to the guy. You know, I think he's going to settle in very nicely, actually. And, as I said at the start of the season, I'd always back a new person in. It can take players to bed in for, 3 months or even a season. We saw that with Henry back in the day. He wasn't great when he first came, but yeah, fair play to the guy. Fair play.
What did you make of Saka and Smith Rowe today? Because they have been the kind of go-to guys for Arsenal, and obviously because they came through the academy, they tend to get more of a pass within the fan base because of that. Yeah, rightly or wrongly. Listen, people can judge them players however they want. Smith Rowe got subbed today. Saka stayed on. Neither, for me, I know Saka was involved in the build-up to the goal. Yeah, like to win the free kick. He won the free kick. He was driving forward. What did you make of them overall today, and what would you do with them long term going forward? Because there is a lot of pressure on both of them in there, and it's like, can they consistently raise their game? Because Saka for England is a different player to Saka for Arsenal in the last 5-6 months. But what would you do with them?
I think they're both poor today. And to bring the point you've just said about Saka is when he's playing for England under Southgate, he's got a different direction. I've said this time and time and time again. I'm bored of saying it. Arteta coaches the best out of players. What I mean to say is he almost de-coaches the best out of players, is what I meant to make the point. Arteta disappoints me so much in the way that he upsets players. I'm trying to think the best words to say it, man, really. Again today, I mean, Emile Smith Rowe, I thought he was bloody awful today. You know, I really was disappointed. Saka, I see him going backwards, but I'm seeing that with Tierney.
Yeah, he was. For me, he was our worst player, Tierney. I thought he was shocking. Yeah, and then he's gone off injured, and it's like, you know, I love Tierney.
Injured again.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, Tavares came on and he looked all right when he came on. He was marauding forward, but the thing with Tierney is the whole season. I said this on my fan cam a minute ago. The whole season, Tierney has been one of our worst players. Yeah, and I don't know whether that's because he's not fit. I don't know whether that's because he's worried about the centre backs next to him, but then he's also got to worry about bombing forward. Today he was bombing forward, then he was so far out of position, yeah, that he's making stupid challenges, giving away free kicks, but then down the left or his side, the left-hand side, it was like, you're so far apart from anyone. Yeah, but then other times you're so close. It's like, mate, you are a multiple title winner. Yeah, you are a leader. What has gone wrong with him? It's like, I just look at it and I think it's mad. For me, I think Aubameyang was one of the worst today. Yeah, that guy looked half sensible against Norwich. He looked like he was up to speed again, driving forward. Today, it looked like he was running in quicksand. Like, I don't get it, Jez. I genuinely don't. Why can't we string, good performances individually together in back-to-back games? The only player that I see, or players that I've seen in the last 2 games that have played really well, are Tommy. I thought he was good again today. Ramsdale, and Gabriel. The rest of them have been hit and miss over the last 2 games. Some games good performances, some games not. The goal today was an individual bit of brilliance. What a finish. Take about Martin Odegaard. What a goal. But in the last game, I thought he was poor. Aubameyang in the last game I thought was good, but today poor. Saka and Smith, it's like we just can't get a cohesion within that team that looks balanced, number one, and a level of consistency, number 2. And again, that is now what, 42 different starting 11s in 43 games, or 41 in 42.
Doesn't that sum it up to you? Doesn't that actually say it all to you? That we have a deluded manager who is clueless, out of his depth, doesn't know what he's doing. Aubameyang, he's ruined. I mean, I put in your chat when on the watch along when I was watching the game. I actually said, has he touched the ball yet? This is 20 minutes into the game. Yeah. And it continued on. When you are playing a player of his ability, and I will agree that he's lost some of his pace, but when you're sticking him out on the left wing and having to make him cut back in, I mean, our passing in the final third is poor. It is poor. Let's be fair.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Pepe today, his final third passing was poor.
Yeah.
ESR was poor. Shaka Zaka, whatever you call, he was poor. So that really doesn't help a striker when he's got to cut in from the left to find the ball, and then the ball never meets him. I mean, you know, let's be honest. If that had been even in the great days of Henry or Bergkamp, all those great players, if they can't get the ball in the third part of the game around the penalty box, they wouldn't have been great. The difference was then they had great midfielders. Great players,
great players.
Bergkamp could, as a great midfielder, could win the ball, and yet he would either take it on himself or he would get it to a striker.
Yeah. And that's the difference. Back then, we had Vieira, one-man midfield. We had Gilberto, one-man midfield. Yeah. We had Bergkamp, we had Pires, we had Ljungberg. All of them players I've just named there without Thierry Henry, were all match winners as well. Because Vieira could slap a 30-yard screamer. Bergkamp could do it. Gilberto had scored the odd one here and there. Yeah. And Pires, bags of goals. Ljungberg always arriving late. So if Henry did have a bad game and Vieira and Pires had a bad game, boom, out of nowhere, Bergkamp scores. If all of them have a bad game, you bring Reyes off the bench, bang, goal. And it's we haven't got that.
We haven't got that, so we've got to look on and move with what we have got, which it's not great, but there is potential there. And my point of this is there is potential, but the potential is not going to be brought out with the whatever game plan and tactics Arteta likes to play. I still don't understand the tactics and the game plan. And I think, I honestly do believe these players get so confused, so depressed, so pissed off with what he's trying to teach them. It's poor.
Yeah.
We've seen it with, I mentioned it. Tierney, great player, came in, first season, looked great. He's dropped away.
Yeah.
Smith Rowe looked great, dropped off. Martinelli, what's happened to him?
Can't even get a game, mate. It's mad. It's actually insane. And I've said this many times. A lot of players, pretty much everyone's regressed under this manager. But Jez, listen, thanks for coming on, man. We're going to do player rating shortly, and podcast tomorrow if you're around.
Yeah, so I'm around.
I'll text the group anyway. But listen, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Love Jez.
Pleasure. Arteta out.
Arteta out.